The year 2016 was a bag of mixed fortunes for the Indian Space Research Organisation, with successes on the technological front. Apart from simultaneously launching 20 satellites, the year also saw ISRO activating its own NavIC satellite navigation system and testing a reusable launch vehicle (RLV) and a scramjet engine. The year saw ISRO putting into orbit 34 satellites, 33 satellites with Indian rockets and one GSAT-18 by French company Arianespace. Of the 33 satellites launched with Indian rockets, 22 belonged to foreign customers and the remaining 11 were owned by ISRO and a couple of Indian academic institutions. The Indian Space Agency's commercial arm, Antrix Cooperation's order book stands at Rs 500 crore, while negotiations are on for launch orders for another 500 crore rupees. The ISRO also put one more rocket, the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark II, with 2 to 2.5 ton capacity to geo-transfer orbit in the global market. The space agency also commercially used its own multiple burn technology in its other rocket, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. India's Eyes on the Skies, a family of remote sensing or Earth observation satellites, is said to have given the necessary images to the Indian Army to carry out its surgical strikes on terror camps across the line of control in September. The first quarter of the year saw ISRO launching 3 navigation satellites and completing the constellation of 7 satellites for the NavIC system, designed to provide position information in the Indian region and 1,500 kilometers around the Indian mainland. In May, ISRO took the first step in developing a reusable launch vehicle (RLV) by successfully testing an aircraft-like winged structure. The structure, which sat atop a rocket, was released into space 70 kilometers above the Earth, and it returned and landed in the Bay of Bengal as planned. The year also saw ISRO successfully testing a scramjet, or air-breathing engine. It is a baby step in space transportation and would take more than a decade to develop such an engine to power a full-fledged rocket. In June, ISRO put into orbit India's Cartosat Earth observation satellite and 19 other satellites, including one belonging to Terra-Bella Google company. The Indian Space Agency also launched INSAT 3DR, an advanced weather satellite, using its heavy GSLV Mark II rocket, and in the process put into the market one more rocket for launch services. India also launched a SCATSat-1 weather satellite and 7 others, 5 foreign and 2 domestic, with its PSLV rocket in a mission that spread over 2 hours and 15 minutes, enabled by multiple burn technology. Simply put, multiple burn technology is the switching off and switching on of a rocket's engine in space, mainly to deliver satellites in 2 different orbits. The Indian Space Agency rounded off its satellite launches in 2016 by putting into orbit its resources at 2A remote sensing satellite. The space agency also signed a launch contract with the Bangalore-based Team Indus to land a spacecraft on the moon. Meanwhile, 2017 is expected to start with a big bang for ISRO, as it would be aiming for a world record by putting into orbit 83 satellites, 2 Indian and 81 foreign, on a single rocket. The space agency is also expected to launch its 4-ton capacity GSLV rocket early next year. INS report.